Avowed is the latest RPG from Obsidian, and stop me if you've heard this before, leveling up is a pretty big part of RPGs. So whether you're a monster-slaying noob or a Pillars of Eternity pro, we're here to guide you to maximize returns and minimize stress. Just like how the experts with TurboTax Live will ensure you get the most out of your tax returns, while you go about your day. So if you're looking to get strong and do it quickly, there's a handful of important things you should do right from the start of Avowed. Presented by Intuit TurboTax. Now this is taxes. Avowed isn't an open-world RPG, but its maps are still pretty big. The good news is that for every location you discover, you'll gain a handful of experience points. Don't beeline the main quest. We'll talk more about that later. Instead, make it a point to start exploring as soon as you reach Dawnshore, the first major zone. There's a lot to see out there. Not only does exploring get you experience points, but it also helps you establish new fast travel points and party camps. These are crucial for some of the other tips in this video. And on top of all that, you never know when you might find some secret treasures off the beaten path. While you're exploring, don't be afraid to loot everything you see. Seriously, everything. There is no crime and punishment in Avowed. You are the hero, and every weapon, item, and treasure chest is there for you. You can even pick a locked chest in the middle of a military tower and no one will bat an eye. Looting is important for a few reasons. First, all the potions and food you pick up can restore health and magic power, which the game calls essence. Since these items have no weight, you can carry as much as you want without getting over-encumbered, but you do need to keep an eye on your carrying capacity when it comes to weapons and armor. Those things count. Stop by a merchant if you need to offload any surplus gear. Speaking of weapons and armor, it's helpful to at least have a build or class in mind early in the game. You gain a skill point every time you level up, and since it'll only cost you 100 in-game currency to respec in the menu for the first time, there's no harm in giving a few different playstyles a try. Just note that the respec cost jumps up to 250 after that. Avowed doesn't have specific classes, but the skill trees are labeled Fighter, Ranger, and Wizard. These are focused on strength, mobility, and magic respectively. Leveling up also grants an attribute point that you can spend on one of 6 overarching stats: Might, Constitution, Dexterity, Perception, Intellect, and Resolve. These contribute to your overall damage, maximum health and essence, attack speed, and more. Your build is your choice, but these will augment your overall utility. For example, a ranger wants to build up dexterity for dodging and perception for a further range with their bow. Clearly, there's a decent amount of overlap in these classes, and there's nothing stopping you from cherry-picking across all 3 skill trees, aside from some level requirements and a few linked abilities. But the best way to start is to choose a single skill tree and put all your points there. If you're going for a fighter, then you'd want to focus on skills that involve knocking enemies back or letting out a war cry that boosts your attack power. Once you have a build in mind, you need to have the right gear equipped. We're not just talking about swords for fighters and wands for wizards here. Your gear level is crucial to surviving the living lands. Fairly early on, you can encounter enemies with skulls next to their health bars. That means your gear isn't at a high enough level, and it will do way less damage no matter what character level you actually are. Your personal level is the key to unlocking new powers and abilities, but your gear level is equally as important. With higher quality stuff, you'll take far less damage overall. Fortunately, upgrading can be done at the workbench in your party camp. Since you've been exploring, you already have a few of those established. And since you've been looting everything in sight, you'll have plenty of crafting supplies for upgrading your gear. If there's a flashing anvil icon next to any of your things, it means you have enough supplies to upgrade it. And if it's an important part of your build, you absolutely should. As you upgrade, your gear will move up in rank from common to fine to exceptional to superb. So what do you do if you need more gear, more XP, and more ways to see the world? Easy, you do side quests. Just look for the exclamation points on your map. The NPC at that spot has a quest for you. Combat and exploration are baked into these side quests, so as you move from waypoint to waypoint, you'll be acquiring XP the whole time, in addition to whatever reward the quest giver has for you at the end. Specifically, we recommend anyone playing a melee build to complete the Dawn Treader side quest. That can be started by speaking to Ulfric, right in front of the embassy in Paradise. While helping him, you'll get a chance to loot a boss weapon called Last Light of Day. This is a great early game blade that deals bonus fire damage and restores a bit of your health for every enemy it cuts down. Now, we did say at the beginning of this video not to rush the main quest, and that's still true, especially since you need to watch out for those stronger enemies with skull icons. However, it's wise to complete the first leg of the story quest and find Ambassador Hilgard inside the Strangle Root. Doing so will unlock a new power on your godlike skill tree. This tree is in the same menu as the others, but you can only obtain its powers by progressing through the main story. Divine Thorn, which is this game's stealth attack, is unlocked during the prologue. By saving Ambassador Hilgard, you'll learn Dream Touch, a powerful AoE spell that hurts certain enemies affected by the Scourge. The more important part, however, is that it heals you and your party, and it even revives your fallen teammates. You'll be using it throughout the entire game. As you can see, Avowed has a lot of interconnected systems for helping your character level up. Our tips build on each other, so be sure to check out our other guides and head on over to TurboTax.com so you can get the most money back guaranteed. See guarantee details at TurboTax.com/guarantees. For more help surviving the living lands, be sure to make your camp at IGN.